Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together with Backyard Musings, Science and Technology Channel.
Yes, sir. And we are talking about a health issue today, which should be perk everybody's attention. And appreciate those people that have subscribed and leave comments and even the bad comments. We'll take them all. So here we go.
Scientists reveal a hidden wiring system in brown fat that could help turn your body into a calorie-burning furnace. Researchers have uncovered how a crucial protein helps activate brown fat by promoting the growth of blood vessels and nerve connections within this heat-producing tissue. The study, published March 25th, 2026 in Nature Communications, highlights a possible new way to address obesity that focuses on increasing how much energy the body burns rather than simply reducing appetite. Would you like to know more?
Okay, I've never heard of brown fat before.
Neither have I.
Or white fat or any other kind of fat, just fat. So just putting that out there. Most body fat is white fat, which stores excess energy and contribute to obesity when levels become too high. In contrast, humans and other mammals also have smaller amounts of brown fat, a specialized type of tissue that helps regulate body temperature and is closely tied to metabolism and weight control. When triggered by cold exposure, brown fat uses glucose and lipids to produce heat through a process known as thermogenesis.
Yeah, I just looked it up while you're reading, and it's exactly how it's described here. Once you start shivering, that brown fat kicks in to provide heat. All right, quote.
If you don't get warm, then you don't have much brown fat. Is that what you're saying?
Well, everybody's got brown fat, but it just depends on how long you've been shivering, right? You burn through it.
Okay.
All right, quote, during thermogenesis, all of that chemical energy is dissipated as heat instead of being stored in the body as white fat, said Farnaz Shamsi, assistant professor of molecular pathobiology at New York University College of Dentistry, and the senior author. Continues, quote, by rapidly taking up and using fuel sources from our bodies and the fuel that we eat, brown fat acts like a metabolic sink that draws in nutrients and prevents them from being stored.
Who would have thought that a dentist would be involved in something to do with like this kind of stuff? So anyway, brown fat depends on dense networks of nerves and blood vessels to function properly. Nerves allow communication with the brain, which signals brown fat to activate when the body senses cold. Blood vessels deliver oxygen and nutrients needed for heat production and help distribute the heat throughout the body. While much research is focused on stimulating fat cells themselves, less attention has been given to how these supporting networks are formed and maintained.
Earlier work from Shamsi's lab used single-cell RNA sequencing to solidify SLIT3, SLIT3, a protein released by brown fat cells that may help coordinate communication between them. Once produced, SLIT3 is split into two separate fragments.
In the new study, researchers used a range of methods in both human and mouse cells to identify the enzyme BMP1, which cuts SLIT3 into two parts. They found that each fragment plays a distinct role. One promotes the formation of blood vessels, while the other supports the growth of nerve networks.
Quote, it works as a split signal, which is an elegant evolutionary design in which two components of a single factor independently regulate distinct processes that must be tightly coordinated in space and time, noted Shamsi.
The team also identified a receptor called PLXNA1 that interacts with one of the SLIT3 fragments to regulate nerve development in brown fat. Experiments in mice showed that removing SLIT3 or the NA1 receptor made the animals more sensitive to cold and less able to maintain body temperature. Further analysis revealed that their own brown fat lacked proper nerve structure and sufficient blood vessel density.
To explore whether these findings apply to humans, researchers analyzed fat tissue samples from more than of 1,500 individuals, including people with obesity. They focused on the gene responsible for producing SLIT3, SLIT3, which earlier studies have linked to obesity and insulin resistance. Their results suggest that SLIT3 gene activity may influence fat tissue health, inflammation, and insulin sensitivity in individuals with obesity.
Most current weight loss medications, including GLP-1s, which is really popular these days, work by suppressing appetite and reducing how much food or how much people eat. In contrast, targeting brown fat could increase the body's energy expenditure. The new findings, including how SLIT3 is split and how its fragments interact with receptors to shape nerve and blood vessel networks, point to several possible targets for future therapies.
Quote, our research shows that just having brown fat isn't enough. You need the right infrastructure within the tissue for heat production, said Shamsi.
Yeah, I wonder if this would help with allergies. Man, my nose is just out of control today. Just
Yeah,
terrible.
last month mine was. Yeah, last month was crazy.
Yeah. All right, well, there you have it.
Thank
Watch
you,
the brown
folks. We'll
fat.
catch you in the afternoon.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening.